Joining us now, Blake Hurst, a third-generation farmer in Northwest Missouri. Blake, welcome back. Always enjoy talking to you. Tell folks at home a little bit first just about your farm.
Well, we grow corn and soybeans in Northwest Missouri and also have a wholesale greenhouse business growing flowers.
And you say you have been hit by the tariffs. Talk specifically about where you're seeing the greatest strains right now.
Well, we've seen a tremendous decline in the crop prices for the corn and soybeans I grow since they peaked in February. And now there's two reasons for that, at least two reasons. One is we have a really good-looking crop in the field. The yield estimates for this fall's harvest are at record levels, and that would, of course, make prices go down. But also, the market, I think, is very concerned about trade uncertainty and the chance that we might see retaliation by countries raising tariffs on U.S. ag imports. So a combination of two factors have made for some really low prices.
Yeah. Another thing that you point out, Blake, is grain markets have been in a free fall since February. What are you doing to mitigate that?
Well, we did do some selling ahead of time, but of course it's very hard to sell a crop you haven't raised yet. So we'll just tighten our belts a little bit as we go into next year's planning. I'm very reluctant to slow down purchases of seed or inputs into my farm, the crops that I raise, but I'll delay purchases of machinery, try to get by with less labor, just do the things that any other business would do when margins are squeezed.
Bankruptcy seems like a worst-case scenario. What are the steps that you and others are taking to avoid that, and is that a threat for your farm?
Well, bankruptcies are still at a very low level, and we need to make sure that people understand that, although they are higher than they were last year. Okay. Farming is kind of interesting because people have all kinds of financial structures. In other words, some farmers are highly leveraged with lots of money borrowed. Some farmers are operating on their own equity and don't have any money borrowed. That tends to be an age-related phenomenon. So my concern is young people just getting started out who have borrowed heavily to get started in farming are now feeling a lot of stress. So I think our main concern has to be with younger farmers.
Have you had a lot of support from the federal government as the tariffs started to go into place, caused a lot of uncertainty? There was talk out of Washington that they didn't want farmers to fail. They'd be there to help them, and we've seen the ICE raids on top of that. Have you seen any support in that arena?
Well, not direct support, although the government did recently announce changes in biofuel rules, which will be helpful particularly to my soybean crop. So they are taking steps, I think, to ameliorate some of the damage from any prospective lost markets overseas. And one of the things we ought to talk about is that what it's done to our costs. We store our grain in large metal round silos. We call them bins. I purchased one in December of last year. My neighbor purchased one in June of this year, a 30% price increase. These structures are made out of steel. Nucor just announced another price increase in steel, so we're looking at a 50% increase in the price of the steel that's used in farm machinery and farm storage structures in the last 7 months. So not only do tariffs affect our export markets, but they also affect our costs.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.